Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hear the Honorable Kangogo asking I have how many minutes? I think I have only 5 minutes.
5 like everybody else.
So you would rather allow me to save my time. Let me first thank the Chair of the Budget Committee, all our chairs of departmental committees, and indeed all the members of our departmental committees and the members of the Budget and Appropriations Committee for the amount of time that they put in consideration of this BPS. Honorable Speaker, as we all know, this BPS, once approved by the House, will now form the basis upon which the National Treasury of the government will prepare the annual estimates that are to come to the House by the end of April this year, immediately after the diarized short recess. Honorable Speaker, this being the basis of our budget estimates, Honorable Speaker, allow me to take this opportunity to urge the National Treasury to ensure that they adhere to the recommendations of the Budget and Appropriations Committee and of this House. Because in the past, Honorable Speaker, it has become customary for the National Treasury to ignore what the House has approved in terms of the budget policy statement. And therefore, I want to urge them that this year must be different, and they must check that they adhere to what the House has recommended in terms of the policy, broad policy, macroeconomic policies, and also the financial recommendations, Honorable Speaker. But, Honorable Speaker, we may allow the National Treasury to deviate slightly on the financial recommendations. And I've had members speak to some of the financial recommendations, many of which I agree with, especially the increment of CDF from 53 to almost 63 billion, about 9-point-something billion shillings increment to NGCDF, because this is money that will go directly to development projects in our constituents and for the benefit of our people. But, Honorable Speaker, one of the other issues I've had many people contribute to is the question of REREC, or electrification in our areas. Honorable Speaker, I had occasion to visit Narok North constituency only 2 Sundays ago. And when I compare the reach of electricity in Narok North to that of Dagoretti South constituency, where my friend, the Honorable KJ, who seconded this motion, comes from, or even my own constituency in Kikuyu, we must be fair to each other in the allocation of national resources. The reach of electricity in Narok North cannot be compared to that in Kikuyu, or indeed in Dagoretti or Kamukunji constituency. We therefore must not just pass this resolution that this money be shared equitably and equally among us, the 290 constituencies. It should and it must be shared based on the need of each constituency. If I only need another 2 transformers to reach 90 or 100% of my constituents, I was in Khwisere the other day, Honorable Speaker, where the President was commissioning the opening of Khwisere TVET. And that TVET got their first transformer the day before the President appeared there. Therefore, my TVET in Kikuyu had a transformer 10 years ago. Therefore, I should be fair enough, and in budget making we must be fair and ensure that development is shared out equitably across the country. And that does not mean that we must all get an equal amount. Money that I may not need in my constituency for a certain endeavor, I probably will need more money in water to reach the people in the year, but less for electricity, and allow the people of Khwisere or those of Narok North, or Amengwen for that matter, the member for Amengwen says. So, Honorable Speaker, with that I would beg that when we come to the actual budget estimates, that the Chair, Budget and Appropriations will ensure together with this committee that this money is shared in a way that it creates equity across the country, so that those who have no access to electricity first get access to electricity before we decide to share this money equitably, Honorable Speaker. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, is to urge all of us that very soon we also receive the finance bill provisions for the 24-25 year. The budget estimates in terms of expenditure projections that are contained in this budget policy statement that will feed into the budget estimates for expenditure must be financed. And the committee has noted that this will be financed
Your time is up. Give him 1 minute to finish.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying the money that will be raised will come from our own revenues raised locally from taxes. And I say that because we are fond of passing things without looking at the other end of the stick. What will feed the budget estimates in terms of expenditure? It is the revenues we raise. It is loans. We are talking about the debt management yesterday in the report that we passed yesterday. We have limited our deficit to 3.9% of our GDP. For us to be able to achieve that, we must ensure that the way we support this budget policy statement, in the same vigor and same determination, we support the finance estimate, the financing of this budget that will come. Otherwise, we'll be happy that we are getting 12 billion shillings for electrification, but we are not asking ourselves, how will it be financed? It will be financed by people contributing money. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, the slum upgrading 1 billion shillings, I disagree with this particular provision by the Budget and Appropriations Committee. We now have the housing levy fund once the Senate finalizes with the law. And that money, we also indicated that among the agencies to implement housing projects is a slum upgrading agency that then should be able to get money from the housing fund levy, not from budgetary allocation, Honorable Speaker. And I would urge that probably when we get to the annual estimates, we should be able to rectify some of these small things. With that, Honorable Speaker, I support.
Nabi, I'll come to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the budget policy statement as given by the